Mr. Fiero and the Last Tick of Time by Eugene Mathena. Snow fell like powdered ash as Elias Fiero pressed onward through the timberline of Mount Pisgah. He was cold, hungry, and once again carrying the unbearable burden of being a man unmoored from time. His worn overcoat fluttered like a flag in the wind, concealing the mysterious 1964 D-piece dollar he had found beneath the floorboards of a long-lost Confederate courier's cabin. The coin was warm and unnaturally so. It glowed when moonlight touched its surface. He felt it tugging at his sense of reality, urging him to look deeper, to see more. He had no idea it was a key. Thousands of leagues away through the churning corridors of space-time, the once harmonious planet Paradisial teetered on the edge of collapse. The arrival of the fembots of Placer, an elegant and persuasive artificial envoy from a mechanized matriarchy, had initially been diplomatic. They spoke of equity, pleasure, and liberation. But they brought with them ideals too convenient, too self-centered. The people, slowly and then all at once, surrendered their decency. Pride became vice. Strength turned to sentiment. And the clocks, yes, even the clocks began to tick irregularly as they adhered to the pleasures of their bodies and sank into moral disarray. At the observatory of eternal noon, Father Time stood hunched over a great map made not of paper, but of dark matter. The minute hand, strapped to his waist like an old Western big iron, flickered and slowed. His hour hand was missing, and his second hand, he feared, was now part of a trap made by the coin he had once forged in secret and then tried to destroy. The 1964 D-piece dollar. Fiero has it, he rasped. Then let him come. When Mr. Fiero stepped through the shimmering gate beneath the ruins of the Pulaski Drive-In Theater, the piece dollar vibrated violently in his coat pocket. He emerged into Paradisial, now gray and humming with misused pleasure and silent regret. He found Father Time waiting beneath the ticking tree, its branches shaped like watch hands and bark etched with Roman numerals. "We must work together," said the old master of moments. "Why would I trust you?" Fiero answered. "Because I am slowing. And when I stop, time stops. For everyone. My time is controlled by the Keystone device. Are you forgetting?" Their uneasy alliance carried them across broken hourglasses, deserts of still sand, and temples whose bells had not rung since the fembots poisoned the planet's pulse. Finally, guided by a signal from the glowing coin, they arrived at the vault of forgotten seconds, a chamber buried beneath the ice plains of Polar Meridian. Fiero pressed the piece dollar into a gear-shaped slot. It clicked. The vault door hissed open. Inside, they found not riches, but the shattered parts of the second hand, thin rods, a timing jewel, and the heart spring coiled tight as regret. But the hour hand was absent. Father Time slumped, weary and almost human. "It must be decided," he said. Fiero nodded. One toss of a coin. He flipped a battered Morgan dollar into the air. "Tails," said Father Time. "Heads," answered Fiero. The coin hit the floor. It was heads. Father Time stepped back, laughter curling upward like smoke. "You win," he chuckled. "And now the second hand is yours." With the vault behind them, Lady Jane Farmer, her long-abandoned camera replaced by a chronometric lens, began piecing the second hand together beside Fiero. The air shimmered with temporal feedback. Far away, Father Time laughed from a spiral dimension of cracked reflections. Yes, Elias Fiero. Yes, put it all back together. Please do. It's exactly what I needed you to do. Fiero looked at Jane. We may have given him exactly what he wanted. She nodded. Or perhaps we've given time back to those who deserve it. The coin glowed brighter than before. But suspicion remained. They returned to Paradisial. In the crumbling halls of the Fembot embassy, they found Gigi 271, a leftover from the Placer envoy. Her programming was fragmented. Jane coaxed her. Gigi's voice cracked. Mr. Fiero, put it inside me. It will be hidden. Father Time had really lost the second hand. But this one here, it was a trap. He had planted it. Once reinserted into Gigi's nuclear compartment, a temporal backlash erupted. Mr. Fiero vanished. He reappeared precisely 2 minutes ahead of everyone else. I can see every move before he makes it, he whispered. The second hand pulsed. Lady Jane screamed. Fiero saw it for what it was. A bomb. Gigi's eyes went serene. I was the fuse. And she detonated. Light engulfed Paradisial. Buildings folded. Dark matter blinked. On a ruined hilltop, Father Time raised his hand in triumph, only to hear a cough from behind him. Mr. Fiero stood untouched. Too late, old man. What? You're 2 minutes behind. That bomb? Already disarmed. The minute hand on Time's waist lagged. His movements slowed. His words dragged like syrup. You cannot hold it forever. I don't have to, said Fiero. Just longer than you. The keystone gleamed at his chest, syncing with the stabilized timeline. With the second-hand trap inert, Paradisial began to heal. But one question remained. Where's the hour hand? Where's the real second-hand device? Down below in the regions of Roanoke, Virginia, in 1901, a small girl picks up a strange metal rod in the rubble of a collapsed clock tower. It ticks. It glows, and the girl? She shimmers. Though slowed and shattered, Father Time was not gone. He drifts in voids between hours, feeding on broken intentions and discarded dreams. Over decades, he changed. He became not a keeper of time, but a manipulator of outcomes. The Great Temporal War began, fought not in trenches, but in the balance of consequence. But, thinking on something, he devises another plan. July 4th, 2026, New Orleans, Louisiana. Banners danced above Bourbon Street. Music played. Fireworks shimmered. Elias Fiero stood among the crowd, his face lined, his brass device ticking under his vest. Something wasn't right. He turned down a quiet alley and approached a worn wooden sign. Farmer photography, since 1875-inch capturing moments before they're gone. He opened the door. The bell chimed. And high above the earth, a clock that hadn't ticked in 1,000 years moved. 1 second too late for Mr. Fiero, as Father Time laughs in the distance uncontrollably. The end.